Hello everybody, Double A Gaming here, and today we are embarking on the third Odyssey. This is a mod for EU4 involving fleeing to the New World with uh, the Roman Empire, or more specifically Byzantium. And I've played it before in the past. It's been a while since I played it, so this should be a fun and interesting experience. I'm just gonna create a normal save. It's modded, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's a fairly narrative experience, I would say, for EU4. There's a lot of custom events, custom mission tree. It's all about finding the land of Elysium. Byzantium, the last remnant of the Eastern Roman Empire and heir to over 2,000 years of Roman history and culture, is finally breathing its last breath. Surrounded on all sides by the Ottoman Turkish menace and all but abandoned by the Western powers, it would be it would take a true miracle to save the last vestiges of Rome from destruction. Welcome to the Third Odyssey. The Emperor of Rome looks upon his realm and despairs. To the east lie the lands of the hostile Turks, successors to the Arabs that battered Anatolia in times long past. To the west lie Serbs and Hungarians, eager to carve up pieces of a dying empire and expand their own dominion. The Varna Crusaders have been butchered. The legions of Rome once conquered the known world. That was long ago. A lesser man might quail at these truths, but Iones and his brother Constantinos are not lesser men. While delving into the depths of the Imperial Library for anything that might deliver them from destruction, the brothers locate a hidden cache of information left behind by exalted former Emperor Alexios Komnenos. The cache contained detailed schematics of dramens retrofitted with deep-sea capabilities of the ancient Roman vessels that plied the treacherous seas between the coasts of Hispania and the lands of the Celts in ages past, and was intended for a trading expedition to Varangian Vinland that never materialized. With them, two brothers were able to scheme up a plan to hastily retrofit the remnants of the Imperial Navy to this design, reinforced with modern construction techniques, and flee west in a new odyssey, just as Aeneas fled Troy 3,000 years ago. The other three brothers will have to stay behind. Get Roman flight, can't declare war. Obviously people are unhappy, scared. We're in a transitory period, but at the very least we get mercenary, not fort maintenance cost reduction. Athens will no longer be a vassal because I believe there was an exploit in the past, so they had to, make sure you couldn't keep Athens while you were fleeing to the New World. One of the options for something we can take with us is books and fire. Fire being Greek fire. The books being the Greek books that would eventually be used to fuel the Renaissance. That's cool. I didn't realize they even made their own custom achievements. That's actually really neat. Shows you how long it's been since I actually played this. Another option we can bring with us is silk. Certain events like this, I'm not going to read the whole thing. So just saying we can bring silk with us, and a lot of flavor behind that. See, our heir now has a hair. Our heir has an heir, which is good, because that means that when our current king dies, we'll have another good leader in the chain of succession. What to do with our holdings? We could sell them with the Venetians, the Genoese, or grant them full independence. Let's sell them for, to the Venetians for extra development. As you see, Athens stayed independent, but Moria became vassal state of Venice. Maybe Venice will do a good job of distracting the Ottomans later. We'll see. Won't be any of our business. We'll be on another continent. In exchange for a steep cost, we can also bring Venetian captains with us to the New World. And here are our options. You can choose 2 different options without affecting your supply status, so 2 is the right amount. And I'm going to bring, let's see, silk and Venetian captains. Venetians to get us to the New World, and silk to make us wealthy there. Set sail. Rebels and exiles. You can choose between bringing Skanderberg or Orhan with us. Personally, I'm gonna bring Skanderberg because in the New World he can help us expand, whereas Orhan will help improve your army. But with our tech, then the natives we'll already have an advantage on the American natives. Orhan, with nothing left to lose, will take control of Constantinople and make a bid for the Turkish throne. If Orhan gets really lucky, he can form Rum, but that's not going to happen. Most likely not going to happen. Granadan pirates, but thanks to our Venetian captains, we can bribe them without a fight. Portuguese wish to strike a deal. We finally passed through the Pillars of Hercules and reached the Atlantic Ocean. However, before we can set sail through the unknown ocean, we've stopped at Lisbon to stock up on supplies. Most of our fleet is currently waiting off the coast of southern Portugal. It seems the Portuguese are under the impression that Theophilus is leading an expedition and that word has not spread to Western Europe of abandoning Constantinople. As a result, the Portuguese regent Infante Pedro has summoned Theophilus for a meeting and wants to make a deal with us in exchange for information and maps of our discoveries. They offer to finance and supply our expedition. Our trusted advisors have proposed 2 different responses. One is to tell them the truth, and one is to lie. I'm going to tell them the truth. Maybe they'll be friends when we return to Europe. The schism reopens. No longer will we bow to the Pope. As the storm approaches our fleet, we can either lose a royal supply ship or a royal ship or a supply ship. I'm going to personally lose the supply ship. We'll lose a bit of base tax and manpower, but we'll be alright. A great catastrophe has occurred. After surviving the Great Storm, a number of crew and fleet were stricken with severe tuberculosis. Despite the best efforts of our greatest physician, Emperor Iones also fell as the victim to the disease. While some say this is just an unfortunate tragedy, others say this is divine punishment for fleeing Constantinople in its darkest hour. Regardless, Constantinos has been crowned emperor and will finish what his brother started. Good luck to him. I am definitely happy to have him as my ruler, that's for sure. Journey's end, despite everything. The toll, the hardship, the storms, the battles with Moors, and the desperate flight from the city, we have done it. We have ventured beyond the pillars of Hercules and lived to tell the tale. The western strands of our ancient Western strains of our ancient Varangian bodyguards are verdant and green, and we have given the land to this name Elysium after the ancient paradise afterlife. Some barbarian men on the beach have fled at our approach, but we have bigger concerns than finding a few men who have evidently no plans to attack us. We must acquire goods to set up farms in, iron mines to forge weapons, quarries to mine stone, and land to expand dominion over. We must build here in Elysium. Send the scouts. We must find what is out there. Our starting situation. Scouts have returned from a fortified landing camp with a barbarian. The foreigner bore a barbarian Dane axe and was dressed in a long coat of mail. Were it not for his dark eyes and ruddy skin, we'd almost believe him a Varangian. His tongue was utterly incomprehensible and matched no language spoken in Europe, but he switched to something almost familiar. A trader who spoke Danish swept along into the fleet by chance, and he returned home from the cold north, was brought to translate. A dialogue was established after several false starts. He claimed that many tribes have competed for resources, for land, for wealth and honor in this land, and that he stood as the hearthguard for his own chieftain. He claimed that the largest of these tribes bore carrion board on their banner and were fierce warriors. What is your tribe called? We are the emperors. We are the empire of the Romans. When we do battle, we will have Skanderberg at our side for a time. We have government interactions. Reducing. So we'll need to keep administrative burden low. Yeah, we want this to be as low as possible, for sure. But we do have options for reducing it. I'm going to hire our administrative advisor. I'm going to hire all of our advisors. It's going to be expensive, but it will be worth it because we're going to need it. Until we can get rid of this. There's a lot of malice as we begin with. Obviously exiled because we're in the New World. We have less ability to field cavalry, less institutions, less technology, a lot more technology cost. We're stranded religion. We're in a strange land with strange faiths. I'm sure this won't come back to bite us later. Surely not. No merchant class. There's no trading when we're just focused on basic survival. There will be no colonial expeditions that go out long terms of space. We're gonna settle the immediate area, and this is gonna stay with us for a long time. Right? We have no manpower, a lot less manpower, less force limit, more maintenance, less cavalry. It's gonna be something that we improve slowly, but it'll remain true for a long time that this is a sparsely settled land. With an ongoing struggle to establish a functioning state in the New World, our administration has quickly become overburdened with the numerous tasks required for expansion. Infrastructure has to be built, new laws created, armies raised and maintained, and administrative systems set up to manage the growing population. If not careful, we might find ourselves losing control of the lands beyond the capital, as the magnitude of new responsibilities buries the state in bureaucracy. We have come too far and sacrificed too much to falter now. Until we reform the administration, we're going to have this overburden function. Barbari watch us build our new cities and hamlets, muse as would be proud parents. Yet the wiser the Barbari become wary, as if their children's imaginarium were being manifest by some dark, foreboding magic. Stygian scratches upon barks and hides of parchment scraps have become flesh in the hands of our brilliant engineers and builders. Day by day, bright amusement grades ever more into suspicion behind their dark eyes. As they shared food of knowledge on the land, so we share our skills of technique and artifice. For a time, this shall keep the peace, but for how long? We have a new world to explore. We have colonists, eager explorers. For the first, looks like 7 colonies. We're going to have them be quicker, but it's not going to be 500. It'll scale down. Gain free cores on the capital area, and no native uprising chance. Go for native trading. Administrative system slightly so we can get faster colonies. Gain base tax and production. Gain a castle. A cheap castle. Or development in my new colony plus more population. Let's go full in on maximum expansion for right now. We built to last for our pride of the fleet, fleet morale, fleet prestige, fleet naval tradition. Max promoted cultures for so we definitely want to get rid of this empire, exiled empire, give them reform as soon as possible. Probably go speed 5 for this. New lands, old faith. Enables our priesthood. Set their land to 20%. Set their patriarch authority to 50. Probably give them some privileges as well. Normally I'd appoint this, but there are no other nations of our faith that are relevant to us currently. I'm going to hold off on religious state for now. Let's improve our relations with all these little barbaroi. Our economy is not great, but not much we can do about that. I'll certainly take the free stability, though. No, nothing. There's no trade good in New Constantinople. I guess for now, base tax then. These lanes will be automatically converted for us, so I don't need to worry about their religion. Take free Diplo power, happily. As you can see, because of our rapid expansion, our first colony is already done. It will slow down soon, but not yet. You can see it already. Get a core, uh, change to my culture and religion, get some base tax and manpower. I love this song, but it might not be, I don't know how YouTube's gonna feel about that. Have to keep in mind on my music packs. Set up our merchants. More base tax for me. Production doesn't matter currently. I'll take admin power. Take off the priest for a bit, but I don't care. The Guild of the Venetians. So this actually involves us how we brought over the Venetians. Each of the 4 goods that you bring over, each have flavor. There's even a unique flavor for bringing over all 4. But that unique flavor is a lot of your people starving to death. So I decided against that. Well, let's look. So we enabled the merchants early. Normally that would it would take some time. We actually have to complete this mission first. Now we don't need to. We just get them. And they permanently get a better merchant loans, better merchants than that. Like, just improves a bunch of merchant privileges and even enables trade posts. So that's quite nice. And the other goods, like other than the Venetians, you can actually reacquire when you get to retake Constantinople. But Venetians you can only bring with once. Like, you either bring them or you never get them. But like the books in Greek fire I left behind, I think, and then get those back later. What is this? This is definitely new to me. Current progress. So I'm actually integrating this extra development. Interesting. They've changed a little bit since I last played this, that's for sure. We'll lose some prestige. It'll be alright. Tap them for a church. I think that'll be nice. Why pay for it ourselves when we can get the priest to pay for it? We can make a deal with a Powhatan. I'm gonna wait on that. It'll be cheaper if I wait. Even making a little alliance with them. I will do that to keep my administrative burden low. Also do this. No reason not to. Oh, there we go. So I do actually have to summon the militia. It's kind of a not great event or decision, but it'll instantly get me an army, which is necessary. I'll lose stability. Just a bunch of nasty stuff, but in exchange, an army ready to defend Rome. Skanderberg to command them. this for now. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna raise a little emergency tax. Taming the land. You can see right here, breakdown of society. That's what would have happened if we brought all the little goodies instead of supplies. Not ideal. I now produce grain in the capital. Enable my nobility. I get some events later. We've received a delegation from a previously unknown group of people to the north. These seem to be the remnants of the Varangian colonies that were thought to be abandoned centuries ago. According to historical documents, the Varangians of old made fearsome raiders and eventually became distinguished traders in their own right, but only because raiding became impossible to accomplish with the achievements of fortification in Europe. As our coast was still a mostly unprotected, we saw fit to send a delegation of our own to the north to talk with the leaders of these Varangians. The apostate. Georgius Demetrius Plethon was a brilliant mind, held in high esteem by the Basilisk, as well as his brother and his father. He circulated Plato's teachings to the barbarous West and gave the Latins some small measure of enlightenment. For this, as well as his friendship with the Basilisk and his advanced age, he was born in 1355. He was... Wow, that's real old. He was brought with a fleet of exiles. Now, however, we've seen his true colors. He is worse than a heretic or heathen. He is an apostate, one who has turned his back on God. He sings hymns of Zeus and other pagan deities, and teaches the mysticism of Zoroaster. Intelligence and charisma is even such as that even a cardinal, Besseron, who has made his way onto the fleet, has fallen under his sway. With such influential and high-ranking backer, Blethion's idea have begun infecting the lower classes, and even some of the rural farmers and woodsmen who ranged inland when the fleet landed. Perhaps his worst crime, however, he repudiates the Romanness of our people, declaring them solely pagan Hellenes instead of righteous Romans. The apostate Neoplatonius is popular enough and held in high regard, high enough imperial esteem to where arresting him would be unwise. In addition, he is sure to die within a few years of natural causes due to his extreme age, but he's still dangerous and should be watched. We're going to get more administrative power. But change, we're gonna get some malices. We're gonna potentially have a civil war. That'll be great. And then we'll have two. We're gonna side with the Orthodoxy. Stay Christian instead of going pagan. That means we probably want to stomp on the Plethonists, but we'll see. Alliance with Markland. For giving them basically land rights, we get yearly tax income. I am absolutely taking that deal. Thanks to all that, we're actually in positive income. Let's keep it that way. hand out some privileges. Land rights reduces administrative burden, so I'm actually gonna go for that. Oh, I should have been colonizing. Oops. Big oopsie there. Take that land. Take those ducats. Annex Lenape. Core that. And an alliance to Powton. We have our own little technology group. Deal accepted. The Powton have accepted our deal. Their villagers, now equipped with crossbows and light iron armor, are packing up and marching as we speak. Our settlers move to take their place. Building settlement for 10 years. In exchange, I get the land, they get the base tax. And they get some tax. A little risky there. Formation of the Barbaroi Councils. So we have a native estate. Let's respect their sacred lands. Let's actually look at this estate, what it does for us. Foreign overlords, we cannot seize their land. They don't like us. They have less influence, but they do give us manpower. But we gave them ancestral land recognition. They really like that and reduce our uprising chance. So when we actually finally lose this, one of these, when we lose this, they're still going to be friendly because of this. So that's exactly where we want to be. Bring silk with us to Europe. We can now swap from green over to Skoro silk. Form of silk created from moths. So we're gonna get a better version of silk later, but for now I'm more than happy with this. We're the only one trading in the silk, so you get an advantage. Yeah, I'm just gonna go full anti-Plethoniast. um, privileges to them. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Gives us a lot of bonuses. Ooh, be a little careful with that, huh? Let's hope I have some good events. Yeah, I'm just going full against the Plutonius. I'd rather proc this early and just get it, rip that band-aid off. Let's send an ambassador to this barbarian chief. Eventually I can construct some roads. Probably be a little bit till we get to that point, but good to think about. Lie to them. That's good. This will actually be the Iroquois Confederacy eventually. So time to change the way our army works. For some manpower, I'm actually gonna go for the enlisting local Barbaroi warriors. I'll just pay that money. We're getting a little... starting to run out of money. Inquisition, though. I see how the EU settlers has been reduced from 500 to 250. It's gonna keep slowing down until it just goes away. That's we're dipping into loans now. It's not great. Reduce that to burger loans for now. We'll go from there. We now proc religious wars. Elysium paradise. This is the promise made to our people as we set sail to the ocean. Covenant based on the hope of a newfound home for our people, our culture, and most importantly, our faith to thrive anew. These bountiful shores have granted us reprieve. We have traveled past and filled us with a renewed vigor. That was then, this is now. The smell of ash, blood, and smoke has finally reached the capital as brothers turn on each other. Our paradise soaked in blood. Only our basilisk choices can possibly lead us to some sort of peace now. So as you can see, you can like swap, even if you like went to anti-them. But that'd be ridiculous, you know, forced ability, lose all that power. Nope. We're gonna go all the way in with the Orthodox Christians. We're gonna lose a stability. That's unfortunate. Sucks, but we'll just take that. It'll go down slowly. You like I said before, you essentially have two main options. You can go. I'm staying with as a Christian, and then I'll eventually become an Elysian Orthodox, not just an Eastern Orthodox. But you can also become pagan. You know, follow Zeus and all that, and that's cool. I'm just for this campaign, I'm staying Christian. I'll just take the devastation. Rename all that, get a little toll going right here. I want to colonize these provinces then. Starting with this one, then move west, I suppose. This is going to keep devastating our land, but it'll be worth it. The quicker we can get this war over, the better. We are second. Government reform. I'm gonna curtail the noble's influence just in case. Puts more money in our pocket, which is sorely needed currently. I get a mercenary group, lose some yearly tax, which sucks, but I'm still gonna accept it. We're almost done with that. I can actually accept this because we have like no government reform progress to lose, so that's fine. Sooner the Civil War ends, the better. About another year left of it. We lost our administrative advisor. I'm not gonna rehire anyone quite yet. Simply because I can't afford it. The sooner this ends, the better. We're almost there. Silence returns to Elysium. Streets of the capital fall silent at last. Tentatively, our basilisk ventures through the palace gates, flanked by members of the guard and their faithful dogs. Around the basilisk, life seems to return at last. A sense of normalcy has fallen upon the city once again. Let us shed no more blood from now on. Get faithful to St. Peter. Civil War is over. And I parked that pretty early on purpose. You can stretch it out and even avoid it, but it becomes a balancing game, and I'd just rather, you know, smother the heathens in their crib, as it were. Five. No, we actually only have one option here. It's kind of custom idea group for Elysia. These guys actually have their own version, Discovery. I think later on there's another country as a third type, so there's 3 extra ID groups in this mod. But we only get access to this one. Well, I think for now this should be all set for this episode. There'll be more later. I love this mod. It's a lot of fun. Played it before, but it looks like there's, you know, some new stuff here and there. And I'm just gonna go through, create a whole campaign with it. You know, we're gonna take control of this land and eventually, you know, return back to Constantinople with the might of the New World. But that'll be in the future episodes. And if there's anything you'd like to see me play, leave me a comment below. If you could give this video a like, lets me know I'm doing good. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.